both the downed power cables as well as save the car that had run into a transformer near 175th Street. The driver had suffered a mild heart attack behind the wheel, and Superman flew him to the local hospital. It was a busy afternoon for the Man of Steel because as soon as he cleared the downed cables and saved the driver, he responded immediately to a fire in the Upper West Side. Firefighters were battling the blaze when Superman arrived, and he assisted with the evacuation of the building. After flying out of the building with two small children in his arms, Superman helped the firefighters put out the blaze. He immediately took to the sky,
Lucy.
responding to reports of a high-speed chase across town. No word yet on the results of the chase, but WVTV will keep you updated as we receive word. Turning now to the sports desk, the Metropolis Stars won their first home game in a week, 4-3 over the Gotham Bulldogs. Star pitcher Shadow Cranston delivered a strong game, striking out 6 batters in the first 3.
I see you've already reached stage 3. Stage 1 was the salt and vinegar chips. Stage 2, M&M's by the fistful. Stage 3, ice cream. Never really cared what flavor, just so long as it was ice cream.
Chocolate.
Stage 4 is hot fudge right out of the jar with a spoon. And 5, alcohol. In your case, beer. But see, for me, beer comes way before stage 5. And since you already got started on the ice cream, figured I'd grab a spoon.
It's not enough left to share.
That's a lie and you know it.
No, I'm serious. There's only enough for me left.
Lois, there's more than half a container there. Clark must have done something beyond terrible if that's not enough to share.
He said it. That thing we said we'd never say. The we need to talk thing.
He said what?
We need to talk. Clark was over here this morning. We were planning the wedding. Then he got real quiet, just sort of stared off into space.
Well, Clark does that all the time. You should be used to that by now.
Then he looked at me, right in the eyes, said he needed to fly. No explanation, nothing.
Okay, that's still not unusual.
I watched him go to the door, said he'd be back later, and that we need to talk.
Jeez.
Down the hallway he went. I watched him get to the stairway, and that was it.
Only Clark Kent can tell a woman he needs to talk and then walk down 25 flights of stairs.
I was so angry at him I couldn't even see straight. I called you right away, and here I am.
Well, I got stuck in the subway. There were electrical problems or something. Everybody was okay though. As soon as Superman cleared the downed wires, it was kind of crazy. Anyway, got your call as soon as I got out. Came over here as soon as I could.
Superman. It's funny, we were talking about Superman before Clark got all Clark on me.
So you think that Clark is jealous of the Boy Scout?
I know it sounds crazy. Clark and Superman would probably be the best of friends. And Lord knows I love Clark with all my heart.
But if Superman asked you instead, that'd be one hell of a choice, huh?
I don't mean it like that.
Yeah, but if Superman came walking through that door instead of Clark Kent, wouldn't you think twice? About the country bumpkin reporter you call Smallville to his face?
Do you think that's it? He just feels threatened?
Lois, look around you. This whole place is practically a shrine to the Man of Steel. Clark only has the picture on the bookshelf. Waist high, no less.
Not true. There's a picture of us in Cabo in the bedroom.
And how often does Mr. Kent go to look at that photo, sis?
I'm not so sure I should tell you that. Big sisters need to have some secrets.
But Maybe the jealousy thing isn't so far off. Although I'm not sure why a simple news story would make him want to break the engagement.
Luce, do you really think that? I mean, do you think that Clark wants to call it off?
Lois, I can't answer that.
He's so dense sometimes. It's like he's from another planet. But seriously, Luce, what do you think?
Lois, when was the last time any man you knew wanted to talk about his feelings?
Clark's not like anyone else that...
He's a sweet guy. Mild, mannered, all that good stuff. But in the end, he's a guy. I think that if Mr. Kent wants to talk about his feelings, then he's not interested in you becoming Mrs. Kent. Yeah.
But why, Luce? Why has he never given any sign of it up until now? Do you think he knows I still steal a few smokes every now and then?
How many times have you told him that you quit?
I stopped counting at 4.
Then I don't think he's gonna be surprised. I mean, that you didn't. Give him a little more credit than that. He is the second best reporter at the Daily Planet, or so you say.
I do say that to him.
Maybe Superman has nothing to do with it. Maybe he feels threatened by you at work.
Lucy, that's ridiculous. I have nothing but respect for him. Even if he did scoop me on the first Superman story.
That's exactly the trouble, Lois. He's been your competition from the start. Maybe now that you're getting married, he's just starting to see how much better than him you really are. His would always be the second name in your family byline.
That's ridiculous. I don't think Clark is capable of something that selfish.
He's plenty selfish. You just don't see it sometimes. When was the last time he took you out someplace nice? For more than just a cheeseburger
We're both busy
and orange
people.
juice. Dad always had time for Mom. Even on the base, he took her out for more dates than I can remember. Lois, you told me one time that you wanted a marriage like theirs. Dad never would have left Mom at a nice restaurant the way Clark did to you last week.
He helped someone to the hospital.
What about the opening gala at the art museum? He never showed up. You were so pissed when you called me.
That time he didn't even explain.
He never gave you a moment's thought. Lois, a few years ago, you told me you were in love with Superman. I was floored when you told me you were dating Clark. Superman was always there for you.
Saving my life, you mean?
Yeah, but he gave you special consideration. He flew you out of danger's way more times than I can remember. And he helped you with all those exclusive stories. He boosted both your work life and your social life. And then you took up with Clark.
Superman even asks me how my day was.
That was what you always wanted as a child. Someone who'd care about you. Lois, when Superman can literally sweep you off your feet, how can Clark even compare?
You're right. I am too good for him.
Lois, are you home?
Remember what I said, Lois.
Luce, what are you doing here?
Afternoon, Clark. I was just leaving.
Is something wrong with her?
Not with her, Clark. So you said we needed to talk?
Did you ever have a secret? One that you'd kept for so long that when you finally did decide to confide in someone, you were afraid that they'd take it the wrong way?
Are you saying what I think you're saying?
Lois, there's something I have to tell you. I'm
An idiot, Smallville. A full-on, honest-to-God, dyed-in-the-wool, all-American idiot. You say we need to talk, and then you rush out of here faster than a speeding bullet, rather than confronting me right then and there about your feelings? That's a pattern for you. And I just don't think you know what you've been doing when it comes to us. And no one can say we need to talk without explaining what they mean, because whenever anyone says we need to talk, they always mean the same thing that they need to talk about. And that's not really a conversation I ever want to have with anyone again, particularly somebody that I'm crazy about. Like, I'm crazy about you, Clark. And so because I know you're just going to break my heart, I'm going to have to protect myself and tell you what we need to talk about before you have a chance to talk about what you thought we needed to talk about when you said we needed to talk. And so, Mr. Kent, if you're going to be needing anything from me in the future, you can send me a memo at the Planet, because that is the only place that you will see my lovely face. Oh. Oh. Oh.